Alright, I'm live again. Okay. Hi everyone. What am I doing? What am I doing? I am going to be fixing up some bugs in my Claude Maestro application this session. This morning, I refactored the way I was basically, how I basically continued the chat after. Let me just run the application so people know what you guys know what I'm actually talking about here. Holy crap. Okay, it is working. It is working. Okay. For example, if I started this task using Opus 4.1, what would happen if I then go ahead and switch this model and continue the chat with GLM 4.5? All that context would be lost. However, to fix that, I've implemented, Claude Code. It helped me implement a thing where all the conversation history is then passed into the new model. Obviously, I'm not passing in tool calls. I am though going to figure out how to pass in all the thinking that's being done as well. It seems like there are specific output from Claude Code that I am not including in my chat history. So that's what I'm going to figure out, how I can get that and pass them in to the GLM 4.5 or whatever other model I select here. And I'm not, because right now how I'm resuming conversation with Claude Opus or Claude Sonnet is through the session ID, which I get back from every single time I chat with Claude Code. And it's really easy to resume conversation if I'm using one of Claude's model, one of Anthropic's models. But if I want to use GLM 4.5 or DeepSeek, it won't work. It will not work. And then if I ever want to implement OpenAI, if I want to implement Codex, then yeah, I'm going to need a way to be able to extract the context. I need to manage the context, not the model provider. I've been pushing that as far down as I possibly can, and now I'm paying the price for it, having to do a refactor, which is all right. It's not terrible. It's not bad. So what exactly am I going to do in this stream? I have one thing that I do want to tackle. Let me just figure out my task really quickly. I'm using linear so you can see it here. I have a lot of tasks, but I'm only looking at this one. Stop using session ID to resume conversation with intro. That's the one I'm doing. I know this should be a subtask. Can I just... Is this the subtask button? Alright, I should probably do this. In progress. Alright, okay. This is such a long... Stop using ID to resume conversation with Anthropic models. Oh gosh, okay. Let me just stop using ID. Okay, and manage context yourself, because if you start a conversation with another model and switch to Anthropic model, wow, this is not English at all. then switch to Anthropic model, there would be no context from chat history. Okay, this is even worse English. Never mind. But I'm gonna fix this. Fix chat context when switching to Anthropic models. Alright, let's get to work on this. This will probably have to go through my planning phase. Okay. Yep, let's do this. Let's do this. I am going to use Claude Code. I've been switching between Claude Code and Codex, Cursor with GPT-5 Codex, and I've had really good results so far. been actually I've been really impressed because I've pretty much one shot everything so far. But I take literally like an hour or so to review the plan. So I don't know if you can call that one shot. I guess you can kind of call it one shot if you don't need to fix the code afterwards. But I'm fixing the plan beforehand, so you know, saves time. Okay, here, what am I doing? I guess, you know, I'm gonna bring Linnea back and I'm gonna actually write this prompt in here. Okay, because this is not what I want. I'm gonna be using my plan create plan prompt command. Okay. Stop using session ID to resume conversation with Anthropic models completely and manage context. Exactly like how third-party model contexts being done currently. Analyze all relevant code before ultra thinking and before ultra think, and coming up with a detailed refactor plan. Do correct me if I'm wrong, but this should be no, never mind. I'm just gonna let it go and then we can correct it in the plan. I feel like sometimes stop. Okay, there. Let's see what it comes up with. I hope yep, I've committed everything, so I'm good. I'll deal with this emphasize item, this any thing later. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Thank you for joining my not vibe coding and chill stream. I'm hoping to get distracted and not have to work, but we'll see. I'm just trying to think if there's where am I going here? I think the bulk of the summarization, you know, I want to take a look at Claude Code SDK. Claude SDK manager, and then if I go to, I feel like every single time I look away, Claude Code SDK updates and it comes with a bunch of new useful features that is not in their changelog, and they don't tell me about it, so I don't know what they've changed, and it's always something that I wanted. Like I'm sure like now they support, I think they support streaming out of Claude Code now through the SDK, which I did like include partial messages. I didn't know this existed. If I knew this existed, then I would have implemented it in a way that supports streaming. But now it's kind of would be such a pain to redo a lot of the IPC calls in Electron, and I don't think it's a necessary feature. It's just it's such a nice feature to have, though. I could animate the text coming in and it looks pretty, but okay, maybe I didn't think ahead like far enough, but that's on me. Fine, that's on me. And they have hooks now too, which is awesome. Oh, you know what? MCP servers. Okay, like this, to give control here is amazing. But what I want to know is, if I do pass something in here, does it override the MCP server currently used by Claude Code under the Claude Code under the hood? Because whenever I run Claude Code SDK, it still uses whatever global Claude MCP server in your Claude Code config file is in your mcp.json file. I think that is outside of your project. The one in your root directory of your machine. That's the one that it's using. And then, yeah, I've been using this resume a lot. Also, why am I not getting good IntelliSense here? I feel like it's not giving me the right stuff. Weird. Before it gave me really good. Maybe I'm just doing something wrong. Okay. I just love looking at this because sometimes there's like little nuggets looking at like the SDK and figuring out all the types it has. For example, this is the SDK result message. It combines the SDK base message, which is just the session ID and unique ID, and then it has duration, number of turns, cost, or it's going to have error. Oh, interesting. So this is error during execution, right? Interesting. And then SDK partial assistant message. So this is like streaming. What is raw message stream event? Wonderful. That's great. Can I go to it? No? Oh. No? No? You're not gonna let me go to it? Can I go into here? Not found. Well, that's helpful. How am I supposed to know? Other than printing it out. Yikes. What other things am I going to find in this SDK message while we're just waiting for Claude Code to finish my plan? Interrupt. Okay. Bro, seriously? Last time I used this, it like broke. It legit broke. There was a GitHub issue about this. There was a GitHub issue about this. And I literally was like, can someone please fix this? But, okay, control requests. Request the following methods are control requests and are only supported when streaming input and output is used. What is that even supposed to mean? What does that mean? What? I mean, isn't everything stream? Okay. I'm gonna debate about this later. In fact, I'm actually going to at some point I'm gonna look into this and then I'm gonna figure out, because right now the way I think I am killing Claude Code SDK when it's running. Actually, I forgot how I'm doing it. I'm gonna have to look it up later, but I would be happy to change the way I'm doing it currently because I feel like it was a little hacky. I forgot how I did it, but it works. Okay, let's see what it has done here. Yes, allow all edits. Okay, keep going. Query Claude Code yields a message at a time. uses tool and commands you give it. Isn't this literally the same thing as up here? Okay. Okay, that's the type definition. This is the actual function. Right. Yes. I should have, oh, I'll switch that there. I should have put this in the dangerously skip permissions mode. I hate it when it asks me stuff. Just do it. Okay. API key source. Interesting. Where is this being used? Oh, interesting. Oh, okay. Config scope. What is config scope? Nope, there's nothing else in here. Man, there's a lot of different things that I just have not looked into in here. A lot of cool MCP server stuff, but I barely use MCP servers, honestly. Interrupt. Typically, this should be set to true when the users say no. What? Leave unset or false if user provides guidance which the model should incorporate and continue. Huh? Sure. Permissions update. Set mode, add directory. Is this MCP stuff? I don't know. Have not looked at this very much. Wait, no, I am in permissions update. Oh, interesting. Oh, I see. No, I am in the SDK types. I wish I could actually see what it's doing, but I can't go any further, I don't think. Or I don't know where the SDK is located. Actually, I do, but I just can't be bothered navigating there. I'm so lazy. Also, what the heck is it doing? Is it actually Claude Code? Stop. You. Why would you do this? I didn't tell you to implement yet. This card changes. Tisk. Claude Code, you are very naughty today. Okay. Problem statement. Currently, Anthropic models use session ID to maintain conversation context throughout Claude's SDK resume feature. While third-party models, GLM DeepSeek, reconstruct context by injecting chat history into prompts. This dual approach creates unnecessary complexity and potential inconsistencies. Okay, great. It understood what I was trying to do. The goal is completely remove session ID usage and manage all model context, including Anthropic, using the same context reconstruction approach currently used for third-party models. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to be doing. Oh my gosh, my whole body hurts. Current architecture analysis. All right. Session flow IDs generation. Session ID is generated by Claude SDK for Anthropic models. Yes. Okay. Context reconstruction workflow. All messages are stored in task message array. Chat context builder.create filters and sort message by phase. Chat context builder. Okay. Yes and yes. Wonderful. File to modify. Remove session ID from types. Remove session ID from types. Should I do this? Should I do this? The question is to remove or to not remove. To remove, fine. You know what? I'm just gonna go. It's YOLO this. Okay. And then I need to remove. Oh. Okay. Required context is always true now. Last session ID is. Get rid of this. Okay, this actually simplifies a lot of things, and I'm actually really happy that it would do this. Oh, hey, Sparrow. It's good to see you again. Well, good to see that you're here again. It's going well. How are you? I'm just figuring out. Okay, so last time when you were here, remember I was trying to implement a way to switch models. And so now I can actually switch models. But now the issue is that whenever I switch a model, for example, if I have this chat going, the history of this is lost when I switch to a different model. So now I'm trying to figure out the best way to keep the context of everything here, even if I switch to different model mid-turn. So yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at now. A little slow, but I'm figuring this out slowly. So what I kind of came up with was, well, I think I saw this in an article somewhere or a blog somewhere, but basically I'm just taking user assistant messages as well as the result and passing it to the next turn before appending the new user message. And but I'm not going to be passing the tool calls along with the context to each of the next turns. I think that's where I'm at. Yeah. I don't know. I hope this kind of make a little bit of sense. So that I can freely switch models on the fly if I want to, and all the context would still be there without, so that we don't lose context. I guess that's what I'm trying to do. It's a lot more than I thought, but funnily, I actually one-shot this morning using Claude. Well, I used Claude Code to create a plan, and then I took like an hour to actually review and change that plan. And then it took literally like 5 minutes to implement the plan, and it was perfect. I would say that's one shot, okay? It's good enough for me. I tried. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and that's where I am at now. And here I'm just reviewing my plan to currently the Anthropic model is just using session ID to resume conversation, but I want it to use the chat history just like all the other models does, all the other third-party models, so that everything is consistent. I'm managing the context rather than having Claude Code SDK manage the context myself. Yeah, I love a good Claude challenge. Darn, AI makes, dude, so hard. I swear, I could spend so much time just going into the rabbit hole and just never come out. You know, I could just read continuously, watch videos, content about AI and how to like get it right, but I would never get anything done, I swear. I can never get anything done if I do that. I rather, so that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just like, you know what? Even if I implement this the wrong way, at least I'll learn something. I'm sure. And then I can refactor. It's fine. This is the first pass. The second pass definitely gonna be better. I don't care. Just gonna make this work and then can move on forward from there. Also, I don't know if you've used Cursor, but like I didn't know they have this agent view. It's awesome. I love this view. It's a little like it's very clean, but I want to kind of refactor my Claude Maestro application so it doesn't have this two-page setup where this is like you can see all the tasks here and then you have to click into a task to actually see all the details. I want this panel on the side here. I think that would be cool to be able to quickly switch between tasks and see what's done, what's in progress, and things like that, and then move like relaunch tasks or execute tasks to down here, as well as number of instance. Number of instance should, honestly, this is like not that relevant. I feel number of instance was more relevant when we didn't go through plan mode, but now that everyone's like planning before actually implementing anything, it's like kind of redundant. Because like if you try to implement the same plan 5 times, you'll probably most likely get the same result at this point, I think. Since LLMs are pretty good at following plans now. I don't know. That's just kind of like my take on it. Disagree with me if you want. Feel free to disagree. Okay, let me see where I'm at. Just looking through this code. Okay, went through this. I was here. So update execution option, resume, getting rid of that. Simplify chat context builder. All right, chat context builder. Remove session ID tracking. Okay, this is a lot of removal, which is, I like removing code. I love it when I get to remove code. I hate when I see code added. Yep, that's me in a nutshell. Remove require context reconstruction method. Always reconstruct. Yes, let's remove more, please. You know what? Delete my whole code base. That's when I'm the happiest. Okay, update Claude SDK manager. Okay, process query. I really don't like that I have to make this query option in any, but there's not really much. Ooh, there's not much. There's not really a way around it. Oh man. Yeah, there's not much I can do about this one, unfortunately. Okay, unless I duplicate the Claude Code SDK types. Okay, remove. Wonderful, that's fine. If status, okay, blah blah blah, that looks good. Option chat context, length 0. Okay, info log, sure, I'll log that out for now, and then we can delete that. Add model configuration. Add model configuration. Get model provider by model ID. Right, that's fine. This all fine. This looks good. Wait, where's the prompt stuff? Oh, it's here. Always use context recon. Okay, so this is going to build the chat context before. How do I explain it? Before querying Claude Code. Oh my gosh, my brain is stumping on words. Okay. Update task management store. This looks okay. Remove this method, no longer needed. Yes, thank you. I'm so sick of having these useless methods. Okay, add new method to get conversation history if not exist. Yeah, that's fine. Update add message to remove session ID parameter. Update message to remove session ID parameter. Oh, I see. This was taking in session ID. Right. No session ID field. This looks good. Update Claude Code provider. Almost. Oh wow, this is a lot. Claude Code Session ID, right? That's out. And always build context for all models, right? I feel like we're building context twice. Okay, line 134. You know what? I'm just gonna have two windows of this open. I believe I saw this earlier, but let me just. I guess not. I felt like I saw it in Claude SDK Manager where it builds the. Oh, it's injecting. My bad. Oh, gosh. This is the thing with plan is that I can't when it's a long plan it like it's hard to navigate around because like if I use go to, it doesn't go to the places that uses this. I just have to use like search or find. Not the most efficient way, but I guess it's easier than after the plan has been implemented incorrectly and I have to revert everything and restart again. Yeah. Okay. Generate new execution ID for tracking, not session ID. Right. Execute task. Execution ID. Do we need an execution ID? That's the question. Where is this being used? This is not even being used like at all. Okay. First of all, I'm going to close Claude Code because I don't want to run out of credits like I've been running into for the past few days. I didn't realize I actually use Claude Code that much, but apparently I do. So I am going to have to use GPT-5 Codex, the cheap Claude Code. Okay. Oh, I guess I can use CLM, but I feel like GLM is not as good as GPT-5 Codex. But now that I'm on, how do you structure your product? How do you map your features, functions? Can you instantly go to a location? How do I structure my product? Honestly, I'm not sure how I structure my product. How I think about like, I have a good like in terms of like architecture, I have a good mental model of I honestly I should really draw it out, but actually I did draw it out. I did draw it out. I forgot where I draw it out like a whole diagram of how I wanted Claude Maestro to work. And basically I already knew how to I already knew how Electron worked. I already knew how Next.js worked. So then I was just like figuring out how to combine those two together. And that's so I do have a mental model of how this architecture actually works, especially when it comes to like IPC calls between the front end and the back end, as well as like how that talks to Claude Code. I have a very specific way of how I want it all to be done. Like for example, IPC calls. I am trying to paste something once before I finish my comment. Yeah. But that at least that's kind of like how I think about it. For example, I never use IPC calls, Electron IPC calls directly in UI. It's always through a hook, and then hook is where it talks through the Zustan store as well. So Zustan store, I try not to expose Zustan store outside of hooks either, but sometimes I can't really avoid that. There are exceptions to a lot of my rules. I don't, in terms of like mapping my functions, features and functions, I try to make sure my functions can at least, I try to make sure my functions can be reused as much as possible. But what I find if I make it too, what should I say? I try to make it fit everything, then it requires a lot more like time investment to think of all the scenarios that I might be using something. use it with something. So what I end up just doing is I'll just like, okay, I'll just create this function for this particular purpose, and if I need it for something else later, then I can refactor as I go. That's kind of how I think about it. Okay, execute task. Yeah, this looks good. Oh wait, there was something I was supposed to question this. Oh, that's right. Okay. Oh my gosh, Kick is not like Discord Slack with code. Yeah. Honestly, I'm curious, like, why is there no code, like there should be a code block feature like in chat. I swear there should be a code block feature in chat for Kick and Twitch and YouTube. Why is there not? I mean, technically they could just render like a markdown or something in directly in chat. That would be cool. I think that would be really cool. Man, I'm so used to using Discord and Slack with code too. Though Slack. I used to use Discord at work. It was great. Everyone at work used Discord. Well, it was probably a security risk. We got found out. Okay. Okay, I will wait for you to finish typing out. Dude, yes, someone should make that. Actually, I don't think anyone can make it except for the actual people who is actually behind these platforms, unfortunately. Oh, you know what? Unless like you use the API and then you like create an app that just like renders out the chat in specific way. Honestly, that's I think could probably vibe code that, honestly. You have a product and you need to map where everything is. You know, that's basically a wiki, right? Basically, you know, as a one person. So that's honestly a lot of work. Unless, I guess if I can have AI do that for me, that would be a lot less work. I could probably do that. I need to question this. Why do I need execution ID? Is this even being used? Right. You have modules, and within each module is a capability. The capability has features, and those features have functions, and those functions have settings. This create reference grid. Like, oh, you're gonna draw it out in chat? Dang. I guess you can't really send like a image. Wait, or am I mod 01? Okay. Oh, interesting. I've never done something like that before. Is this how you work? Okay. With the settings for specific functions, wouldn't are you talking about like arguments, parameters that goes into the functions? Honestly, then you can tell AI that you want to work on X and it reads architecture. Oh, I see. If my code base was more organized, I swear. Okay, I need to do like a actual audit of my code base. It's not that big right now. I should really do it, but I really need to do it. I really need to do it. I really need to do it. I've like my application is split up into Okay, I'll just show you how it's all split up. I don't where when you plan that feature function by ID. Interesting. Wow, that's super organized. I am not that organized. Dang. Uh, Basically, I have my application split into like the top level here, which is the Next.js application. I do have features here, which is each one having its own components and like this task detail and insight, as well as logic. But then I also have my features are split because inside this Electron app, I also have this. This is where it's a little messy because I don't have a features folder in here. I don't know if I can just justify a features folder in here yet, since there's not that many features I want to put on Electron backend. Maybe later down the line I will. It's just right now it's not exactly the most organized thing. It's kind of a little bit all over the place right now. I try my best to keep it clean. I try. I really try. And there's like shared types in specific places. Like I think this types folder is shared between both my Next.js application and my Electron application. Yeah, it's a little bit interesting. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm working by myself, so I'm kind of very lenient. Though the game studios I've worked at before also had very strict. Well, ooh, I wouldn't say strict. Code can be a mess in video games, but yeah. But working by myself, at least this project isn't that large. I know roughly where everything is, so I think it's like okay until the point where I'm like, shoot, I don't know where everything is, and my brain starts to like fart. Currently, my current Kick project, I am about to extend to have main character profiles and side character profiles. Interesting. What's the difference between main character profiles and side character profiles? OpenAI Whisper can recognize their voices and try. Oh, that's so. Does it come out as a script? So would this be like if someone like did a podcast or something, or and they would be able to. So if you Main and I were on a Discord. Oh man, that's a great project. That's a really cool project, dude. Nice. How are you making it? How does it differentiate between the different voices? That's how does it know who's who? That's I guess that's what are you doing to like differentiate that? The transcript knows who's who, and I can train the profile on 2-3 minutes. I see. So you do need like actual like voice data to be able to segment between the 2 or 3. I guess I don't. How many side profiles can you have? Obviously, I'm guessing you can only have one main character, and then you would have multiple side profiles. Yes, I use your VOD. Ah, I see. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. That's. Is it like a is this it? is this like a Kick plugin or like do you say an extension? Handle send. Remove session ID from IPC handler. Okay, wait. It's my Kick project I built. But like how does it integrate with Kick? Oh, I guess is it like a web-based thing? Like a web application? Or am I not getting it? Is a Kick project a thing? Because I know you mentioned before that I can sign up for like the Kick developer thing, and I tried, or I did look into it. It was in my settings, developer. Oh yeah. Stream to data points. It logs the Kick stream to create data points for analysis. Oh, interesting. Also, so if the streamer presented your code and the chat did not like it, they would boo. Oh, yikes. Then I would get boo all the time. The logger transcribe your words and the chat reaction. Dang, that's cool. That's very cool. Also, is there, so if your content is positive or negative? Oh, okay. That's cool. That's very cool. Also, do you know of a way to like filter chat? Okay, sometimes in my chat, like there's these ad spam from I don't know, weird bots. Like, how do people remove these things? There's got to be like a plugin for it, or some extension for it, right? Because it's kind of annoying. Bot spam, is that like a thing? Bot spam, chat spam, bot spam. Yeah, I really don't like the bot spam. It just like clogs up the chat sometimes. It's like it makes my chat looks like very unfiltered. Which I don't know, maybe some people like it. In creator dashboard, you can set account creation be greater than 30 days. Oh, I see. Okay, thank you for letting me know. I will adjust that. Let me write that down. I'm gonna need to write that down. You are way more experienced than me doing this. I have no idea what I'm doing. But this is great, because I did not know that was a setting. That would help a lot. I need to do it for both. I need to do it on Twitch as well. I get a few bots on Kick, but I think Twitch gets more. I don't think I ever see one on YouTube, but maybe YouTube just has better, like, protection. Oh my gosh, it isn't wide up for anywhere in actual app. Graph finds where it's described as purpose replacement for old session ID. Nothing. Okay. On Twitch, set their accounts to be verified by. Oh, okay. Let me write that down as well. On Twitch, set accounts to be verified by phone or Prime. Nice. Noob streamer. Terrible. Like, dang, how do people get rid of these? Okay, doesn't seem like this execution ID is being used anywhere. Is this being used anywhere else in the plan? If not, we should remove it completely. Have a great day too, man. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time. I need to continue with month end stuff. Good luck. Thanks for coming and educating me. I'm gonna have to go soon too, but I'm gonna try to finish this off really quickly. Come on. All right. This looks good. Keep all and remove session ID handling. Okay. Execute task, handle SDK message. Update message handling, remove SDK map, SDK message to task messages without session ID. Update phase view. Okay, no session ID. This is code phase. Yep. Remove session ID from IPC handlers. And this is going to remove, yeah, that looks good. Update message utils. This looks good. No, wait, does this look good though? Remove session ID related logic. Okay, message grouping, group. Okay, message right. Okay, this is fine. Remove session ID. Update get groups to group by execution context instead. Wait, what? To group by execution context. Group by execution context. The last message, time difference. Group messages within 5 minutes of each other. What? What is this? Oh, this is the get. Oh, man. Oh no. I mean, I'm gonna have to redo this anyway. Whatever. It's just a thing for now. I need to go to linear, and then I'm gonna need to let's add refactor how messages are grouped. Messages should no longer be grouped, though messages longer than one line should be collapsible. Should be collapsed by default. Collapsed by default. Check out how cursor does this. All right, this looks good to me. Let's move this into to do and create issue. Yeah, that's that. Hooks, I'm gonna, okay, remove generated session ID, implementation order, right, benefit, simple context management, approach for all models, less code branches and conditional logic. All models behave the same way. One path to test instead of two. New model providers automatically work without special handling. Yep, that's exactly what I want. Migration, no data migration needed. Correct. The system will automatically use context reconstruction for all conversations. Performance impact is minimal as context is already being built for third-party models. Wonderful. Delete that. And I think this spec file is ready to be implemented. Let's just commit this first. Updated plan. Yeah, terrible naming as usual. And I'm gonna actually close this Codex instance, and I'm going to use Claude Code to now implement this plan. So yeah, this is how I work now. Implement O2O, and it's going to be this. Let's go. Basically, now I am using Claude Code Opus to create the plan and implement the plan, but in between those, where I'm modifying the plan, I'm having OpenAI Codex do the in-between. Because I still don't, honestly, OpenAI Codex is actually pretty good at implementing plans, to my surprise, but I don't want to burn through my cursor credits, which I've already burnt through half within the span of less than a week. But I'm on a $20 a month plan. But I don't want to pay anymore. I don't want to pay anymore. I'm so done paying for AI subscriptions. So many of them. It's so weird now how I have to have multiple different subscriptions just to get what I want. Yes, I can have like a $200 a month plan on Claude Code, but then I don't get all the nice IDE features that Cursor or Windsurf has, like the tab, AI tab completion and all that. Though AI tab completion is free in Windsurf, but then I don't have access to different models other than Claude Code. Though, do I really need access to different models? That's very debatable, considering I do like Claude Anthropic models the best in terms of coding, but I also still want to try out other models sometimes. Honestly, the only other model I care about is OpenAI. OpenAI Codex is actually really good now. It's actually really, really decently good. DeepSeek and GLM 4.5 is on the back burner for now. I feel like every week I just come up with new different combinations of models to work with. At least this one consistent thing, and that is Opus 4.1 is still the best for me. Everything else surrounding it can shift as much as it wants. That's just where I'm at. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts? Let me know down below the comments, because no one's chatting right now. Make every chat unforgettable. Upgrade stream aesthetics and boost engagement with overlay built for just chatting streams. Is it a chatting stream? I don't think I'm doing a just chatting stream. Doing a not vibe coding stream. There should be a not vibe coding stream. Though this is very okay. This has got to be a one shot, right? I mean, I literally spent 58 minutes and 20 seconds reviewing this plan. Considering I did get sidetracked, I know, but still, I did spend almost an hour reviewing a 500-line plan. It's, that's where my time goes now, just reviewing plans. Whatever. I want to make this whole reviewing I think that's the annoying thing, is the whole reviewing process is harder than it needs to be. I wonder if if I hold down control and if I can just click this and it opens up another pane with this file, that would be extremely helpful. And I think I'm going to try to implement that in here. Like, for example, it already knows that this is a path. Oh, you just broke it. You just broke the application, Claude Code. But I want to implement a few features, like being able to control click or command click the path to a file, and it will just open up in your IDE of choice. I think that might be really cool to explore and kind of make this whole reviewing plan process a lot easier and more streamlined. Also, I do like having like a two side by side pane like this, which I will have to implement that as well. Okay, I think I'm going to let this go and I will come back in my next stream. Oh my gosh, look at that. Almost reached limit again. Bro, I only asked you to do two things. Two things.